The next day, Heijin woke up. His head still felt dizzy. He tried to recall the events of the previous night. His memories surfaced slowly, the artifact box, the green light, and the beautiful girl. It was just a dream, right? He mumbled. He turned towards his bells. The color of the bells had faded. But everything was fine last night, he thought. This artifact was made up of 8 bells, a unique relic from ancient Korea. Each side had 8 bells. Its purpose was unclear. However, many believed that these bells were used by shamans to ward off spirits by borrowing the power of the heavens. Heijin muttered, "Last night, my father must have returned here. But why did he only leave that item?" Suddenly his phone rang. It was his boss calling. Heijin worked as a construction laborer. His boss asked him to come immediately. When he arrived at the site, Heijin greeted his boss. "Hey boss, what's up? Why did you call me on my day off?" he asked. His boss turned around. "Oh, you're here already? Come inside, there's something I want to show you," he said. They walked towards a pile of antiques covered with old cardboard. "I shouldn't really be showing this to anyone," his boss continued as he removed the cover. In front of them lay numerous antiques placed on a wooden table. "We found these scattered on the ground in the parking lot," his boss explained. Heijin immediately asked, "Have you reported this to the Cultural Heritage Administration?" His boss shook his head. "It seems the owner of these items doesn't intend to report them to the government." "Are these valuable?" his boss continued. "I heard you know a thing or two about historical artifacts." Heijin hesitated. "Yeah, a little," he replied. The landowner was looking for someone who could appraise the antiques. That's why his boss called Heijin. Heijin asked, "Is the owner planning to share the profits with you?" His boss nodded. "Yes. I'm the one who found these items. He owes me something to keep quiet. If you do a good job appraising them, I'll pay you separately for your effort." Heijin began examining the porcelain. "This looks like red porcelain. The coloring is called cinnabar. Then it's coated with glaze and heated. That's why it has this rich red color," he explained. His boss asked, "So, how old do you think this is?" Heijin replied, "The history of red porcelain is quite long, from the Goryeo dynasty to the Joseon dynasty. But floral patterns like this usually appeared after the 18th century." He continued, "If my assessment is correct, this could be sold in the antique market. You could get 5 to 10 million won for it." His boss was stunned by the estimated price. He shouted in surprise, 5 to 10 million won? And added for context, that's around 3,900 to 7,800 US dollars. Heijin thought to himself, this could sell for even more at an auction. Suddenly, from behind them, the landowner arrived with someone else. The landowner asked, "Who's Heijin standing next to Boss Kim?" Boss Kim replied, "Oh, that's the person I told you about. He's working for me now." Then Boss Kim instructed Heijin to greet the landowner. Heijin quickly bowed politely. For some reason, the atmosphere became tense. They stared at each other in silence for a few seconds. Soon after, the landowner said, "Good job, Boss Kim. You brought him here. But now tell him to leave." Boss Kim was surprised and replied, "What? Sorry, but he just finished appraising the antiques we found." However, the landowner responded firmly, "This isn't a joke. What are you doing with that snot-nosed kid? I've already brought Mr. Kim Cheol-sang. He's the head of the Heaven Earth Man's appraisal board in Insadong." Mr. Kim Cheol-sang then walked toward the table, examining the porcelain carefully. After holding and observing it for a moment, he turned and said, "The landowner doesn't need to worry about the Korean Cultural Heritage Administration. All the items on this table are fake." Heijin was shocked to hear that. "What? You said it's fake?" he thought. Kim Cheol-sang continued, "Look at the bottom of this porcelain. There's a signature park. But artisans wouldn't carve their signatures on porcelain like this." He added, "Since ancient times, Joseon craftsmen had a tradition of not revealing their names or identities." Frustrated, Heijin finally shouted, "Please stop spouting nonsense like that. You know that's not true. How can you call an authentic item a fake?" Kim Cheol retorted, "What? Where did you learn this? I heard you're just a laborer here. So tell me, which university did you attend to learn how to appraise antiques? Answer me. Besides, what do you know that gives you the audacity to question a professional like me?" Realizing his position, Heijin replied with a trembling voice, "Sorry, I..." then fell silent. Kim Cheol turned to the landowner and said, "Sir, Do I really have to listen to this kid's rambling? Just because you're good friends with my father-in-law, I even gave up my day off to come here. After all, what does a laborer know that he keeps interrupting me like this? The landowner responded with a worried tone, yes, that's true. Firmly, the landowner glared at He-jin, grabbed him and shouted, get out. Didn't you hear me? What does a laborer like you know to meddle and interfere in other people's business like this? Irritated, He-jin pulled his arm away from the landowner's grip and replied, yes, I understand. I'll leave. But before that, I'll check my bank account. Everyone was bewildered as He-jin suddenly checked his account balance on his phone. Then he continued, I'll buy all the porcelain on this table for 1,000,000 won each. His statement shocked everyone, leaving them wondering, what is this laborer thinking? What will happen next? Will He-jin's decision to buy the porcelain at such a high price be the right choice, or will it lead to his downfall? Let's find out in the next chapter tomorrow.